Did Gege end one of the most OP characters in Jujutsu Kaisen? With the most recent chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 263, the chapter opens up what looks to be like a flashback of Geto and Gojo, with Gojo opening the chapter talking about death, with Gojo telling him, "When you die, you are alone," and Geto, being Geto, tells him who cares, with Gojo replying, "It's about my father," in which Geto replies to ask, how was Sukuna the king of curses, to which Gojo replies that he was strong, and he didn't even go all out for it. He even adds he doesn't know if he could win if Sukuna didn't have Megumi's curse technique. Naname and Hahibara enter the room, with Naname opening up the conversation, talking about how selfish Gojo is, saying that he uses sorcery to satisfy himself. Gojo replies to him, saying that he's glad that what killed him is not time or a disease, but someone who is stronger than him. We then snap back to reality, and we see Sukuna explaining Mahoraga's adaptation. Sukuna says he expected Mahoraga to adapt through Gojo's infinity, and when Mahoraga was first adapting to Gojo's infinity, it was changing its curse energy so that it would neutralize Gojo's infinity, and then when Mahoraga shot the slash, it wasn't the same as Sukuna's, it instead expanded the curse technique to not just only slash through time and space in the world, but to slash through Gojo itself. The panel then switches to Gojo's torso standing while the top of his body is there on the ground, and that's when we notice that Gojo has been cut in half, and it looks like Sukuna is looking over him saying, "Good job, Gojo Satoru, I will never forget about you." And before the chapter ends, Hajime comes in, and that's how Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 263 ends. Now, when the chapter got leaked, a lot of people had a bunch of mixed emotions, but most of them, being the Gojo stands, ended up crying. But a lot of speculation is going around, with people saying that Gojo really isn't dead, and let me explain why. Reverse energy allows the users to heal themselves, and we've seen this done plenty of times throughout Jujutsu Kaisen, most notably the Gojo vs Toji fight, where we all thought Gojo was dead, just like in this chapter, but it turns out he wasn't, and to add on to that, he managed to learn reverse energy, and we both know that reverse energy comes from the brain, which is why he told Toji that he should have cut his head off. So seeing Gojo in this state with his head still intact, we could only hope that he's alive, but as we all know, with Gojo being, the most overpowered character, and Gege having a natural hatred for him, it's gonna be a 50-50 on whether or not he comes back to life. To add even more salt to, the wound that we have, not only are the panels zoomed in on what looks to be lotus flowers, which in a lot of culture represent strength, resilience, and rebirth, but we know that earlier up in the chapter that Gojo was in some sort of flashback or a moment before, death type of situation that happens with every anime, where a specific character, or like a character that everyone loves and is really like important to the story, gets a anime moment flashback right before they're dead or while they're dead. So going back to that, we get to see a conversation between Gojo and everyone, saying that if you'd like to become someone new, you go north, and if you'd like to return to someone who you once were, go south. And Gojo takes the north route. So with him taking the north route, we can probably expect or speculate that he's gonna come back one way or another, and he's gonna be a better person this time, or be a little bit more humbled, that or completely just destroy Sukuna, and we all get the happy ending that we want. But with all of that laid out, what do you guys think? I honestly think that Gojo is still alive and kicking it, and I'm a little biased, or not really biased, but yeah, I guess I'm a little biased since I'm a huge Gojo stan. But at the same time, Gojo has been in worse situations, and more specifically the Toji versus, Gojo fight, where Toji managed to stick the knife into his throat and completely run it down his body and hit major, arteries and other things like that, organs that should normally kill. And for him to get his body sliced in half, yeah, that's bad, but this man, Toji, literally destroyed Gojo. But let us know what you guys think down below, and make sure, to leave us a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and it really helps pump us out into the algorithm. And we really do enjoy making these videos for you guys all. We're probably going to start doing more of these type of video content if you guys like them. And yeah, honestly, let us know what you guys thought about this chapter. I thought it was pretty cool, but that's about it.